So I'm going to try this same road a second time. The first time I did the local road test drive on this very stretch of road, I wasn't good about keeping the road in focus. It was raining, so let's try it again. So this is all autopilot. The old autopilot in this area would severely stutter because of those dotted lines, or the broken up lines. As you can see now, it's pretty smooth. Compared to the last couple of iterations of autopilot, I have to say I'm really happy with the way the road is being handled here. Disengage autopilot because, at least not yet, it's unable to register a red light. Really looking forward to that day when it can do things like register stop signs, red lights, other signs like yield. Another fine day. Take a moment to enjoy this grand helicopter windshield view. Wow, just keeps going. As a side note, by far, this super awesome, supersized windshield is just one of the So I'm going to go ahead and engage autopilot. So here we go. All right, so now it's picking up speed again. Really smooth handling. You can see that there are gentle curves in the road, and the autopilot is just, wow, handling this road like a champ. You can see the broken up line on the left. It's not phasing the autopilot one bit. I mean, no hesitation, no stuttering. At least on this stretch of road, I can say with certainty that we have achieved silky smooth level. At least on this stretch of road, even with light rain. Slightly. So here comes a modest bend in the road, and look at that. It's handling it beautifully. Another slight bend. Fantastic. So I'm going to not hit the brake. Well, okay, now I have to disengage. What I wanted to do is I wanted to see when the autopilot would start slowing down, since there was a car waiting to take a right turn here. I really wish that it would get smarter about slowing down a little bit sooner than it normally does. Let's see, I'm going to put an autopilot here. Alright, I want to see when it starts slowing down. Alright, in this case it did an excellent job. So it started slowing down pretty much exactly around the time that a human or I would start slowing down. So this was a very, very smooth stop. So I find that in terms of registering the car in front of you and you know, slowing down when the car in front of you is slowing down, autopilot is doing a fantastic job. However, if you're on a local road, and just beware that if there's a car that's already stopped at a stoplight that you are approaching, you ought to take over, stop or disengage autopilot, take over, and begin the slowing down process yourself, because you know the car won't slow down at a reasonable distance. It'll cut it awful close, and then I presume slam the brakes. And by presume I mean I haven't pushed it to that point. So right now autopilot is still doing all the driving, even from that stoplight. I had not yet disengaged autopilot. So on this local road, you know, it's doing great, as you can see. Notice that on the intersection we just passed up, it didn't stutter, it didn't waver to either side. It stuck in the middle, which I'm really pleased about. And the reason why I'm pleased is because, you know, one may say, well, duh, that's what it's supposed to do, but with the previous two iterations of autopilot, it was not handling intersections that smoothly. It would kind of ever so waver, sometimes noticeably waver to either side. But now it's much smoother, which is fantastic. It's maintaining the set distance that I had set, which is 1 car length, so that's great. Again, autopilot is still engaged. I am not intervening yet. Okay, so on that intersection, there was a slight waver to the left that you may have picked up on, and it immediately corrected. The other thing I like with this iteration of autopilot is when it does correct itself, it doesn't jolt into correction or into, you know, the position where it ought to be, which is really nice. With the previous 2 iterations, what I personally was experiencing was it would literally jolt back into, you know, where the computer would decide that where the car ought to be. So that's also really nice. So I think that's enough for now. I'll probably post another video later on to show how this car handles curvy roads, curvy local roads. Till next time, thanks for watching. Take care.